Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the virtual open evening for the Sixth Form Centre here at Hubert College. My name's Joe Poole, and I'm the director of the Sixth Form Centre here at the college. And now, look, ordinarily at this time of the year, what we would do is we would open our doors and we'd invite hundreds of students in, along with their friends, along with their family, to come and have a good look round our facilities, to find out a bit more about how we do things, and really to speak to subject teachers about the courses that you're interested in studying at A-level or BTEC. Now, for obvious reasons, we're not able to do that this year. So what we decided to do was we didn't want to do nothing. So we've put on a virtual event for you, and I'm really hopeful that you find it useful and you get all the information that you need. And what we can assure that way is we keep everybody safe, but you do get that information you need to make decisions about your next steps. So what I would ask over the next hour is that you bear with us, you listen, you take notes, you find out all the information that you need, and that you ask questions if you have any questions throughout. So please do feel free to ask them. We've got an action-packed evening for you this evening, and you can enjoy all of that from the comfort of your own home. So over the next hour, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the sixth form offer, and I'm going to tell you a bit more about what that option means for you after year 11. You'll also get the opportunity to meet my senior curriculum leads, and they'll introduce themselves and tell you a bit more about their faculties and the subjects that are offered within their faculties. Excitingly, you're going to get to meet 3 of our current year 13 students, and they will tell you a bit more about what they're doing, and we'll pose some questions for those year 13 students to answer for you. You'll meet my colleague Julie, who's one of our student services advisors, and she's going to tell you all about the way in which we support students and the range of student services that we have here at the Southend campus. And then at the end of the evening, we're going to bring everybody back together on screen at the same time for a live Q&A. So like I say, if you do have any questions, if there's anything that you're unsure of or anything you want to know more about, you'll be able to ask us some questions and we'll answer them as honestly and best we can. So I hope you enjoy the evening. To kick things off, we're going to show you a short promotional video that we use in schools, and I hope you enjoy it. So there you go, just a bit of an insight, as you can't be with us this evening, just in terms of what it looks and it feels like at this campus. I think it's worth flagging up at that point that since that video was filmed, we've actually had a bit of work done on our atrium area, which is one of our main student spaces, which you can hopefully see behind me. We've invested a lot of money into some new furniture, which is bright and modern and very sociable, that brings students together. And we've also added some colour to our walls through a local artist called Jazz Stan. And fingers crossed, all being well, you can get the opportunity to see that in person come the spring when we invite you in for some taster sessions. Okay, so it's my job this evening to kick things off and really tell you about the sixth form college option after year 11. And in the next 10 minutes, what I want to do is really just make sure that you're clear what sixth forms are and what they offer. But you'll see that every sixth form college is slightly different. So the second thing I want to do is just make sure that you're really clear on our particular offer and what we can offer you. And then finally, what I'm going to do is just give you 3 reasons. I think I could give you 103, but I'll give you 3 reasons why I think you should absolutely choose to come to the Southend campus of Hubert College if you're looking at progressing onto a sixth form college after year 11. Okay, so first things first. When you're in year 11, you have a big decision to make about what you're going to do next. And broadly speaking, I think there's 4 main routes or 4 main options for you. So many students in year 11 will choose to go and get an apprenticeship, okay? Many students in year 11 will choose to go to a college to do a practical, vocational, hands-on style course. Some students this year will choose something new, which is called T-levels. Now, the college does offer T-levels, but not at this campus. And there's more information about that on our website. But the option that I'm here to talk about is the sixth form option, predominantly going to a sixth form college and doing your A-levels, okay? And the first thing that I want to say about sixth form colleges is that they have entry requirements. So what that means is you must achieve certain grades at GCSE in order to go there. Now, every sixth form college does it slightly differently. So please look into any sixth form college that you're interested in joining. Our stance is that if a student can achieve 5 GCSEs, grade 4 or above, and that must include English language and maths, they can enroll here on an A-level study programme. However, for some subjects, we do ask for a little bit more. And all of that information is contained on our website. So please do look at the subjects that you're interested in and what the entry requirements are for that subject. So that's the first thing, that there are entry requirements at sixth form. The second thing to say is that your sixth form journey is shorter than your high school journey. So at high school, you've been through years 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sixth form is just 2 years. So you'll go through year 12 and year 13. Some providers call it upper sixth and lower sixth, okay? And in those 2 years, you will study just 3 subjects. And this is the first time really in your life when you've had the power to say, I want to go there and I want to study those subjects. So you're very much specialising. And something that I hope comes through loud and clear this evening is the importance of picking the right 3 subjects. You're essentially committing the next 2 years of your life to those 3 subjects. So please make sure you've done your research, you've given it lots of thought, you've spoken to people who've done A-levels and those subjects before, because that's really important. It's a big, big decision that you have to make. And at sixth form college, your study programme will be predominantly A-levels, and you must know that A-levels are exam-based. And they're linear, which means that at the end of the 2 years of study, you will sit exams. Now, in some subjects, there are coursework and practical elements, but on the whole, A-levels are assessed through exams at the end of the 2 years. And our grading system is slightly different. For your GCSEs, you'll be graded 1 to 9. For A-levels, you'll be graded A star to U. And I suppose the final point of this first part is that many, many students see sixth form study as a stepping stone to higher education, that's university, or apprenticeship or employment, okay? So roughly around about 80% of our students go on to university each year. Now, I did say earlier that every sixth form college is different, and you need to do your research, you need to do your homework about each provider that you are interested in. For us, for the South Southend campus of Hubert College, I really want you to understand that we are not located at the main campus in Bootle. We're located in Litherland, which is just next door to Litherland High School and just across the way from Bootle Golf Course, okay? So we have our own standalone sixth form centre, which you can see behind me, and that's where we house all of the A-level provision, okay? So if you decide to come to us, we can offer you 31 subjects to choose from at level 3. And that comprises of 26 A-levels, and you'll hear about those A-levels later from my senior curriculum leads. We offer 4 BTEC subjects, and we offer a diploma in criminology. So it's your job from tonight, right the way through to next September, to start thinking about those 31 subjects and thinking, what am I willing to commit the next 2 years of my life to? But in saying that, sixth form and that sixth form experience is about much, much more than just the 3 subjects that you study. So in addition to those 3 subjects, you will also attend something called a weekly personal development session. And the aim of those sessions are to develop you in some way, shape or form. You will also attend a one-to-one meeting, progress meeting with your personal tutor every half term, where you look at things like attendance, punctuality, your welfare, your progression plans, and targets are set to hopefully help you improve and make you an even stronger student. In addition to that, you will have free time on a Wednesday afternoon to engage in some sort of additional qualification or additional activity. And what we want you to do on that Wednesday afternoon is do something that really adds value to your CV or to any apprenticeship applications or to your Ucas application should you be applying to university. But in addition to that, sixth form college is about meeting new people, trying new things, lots of trips, lots of visits, lots of guest speakers, lots of careers programs, and lots of opportunities to get involved in enrichment activity. We cram a lot into the 2 years. I think the point I'm trying to make is it's about much more than those 3 subjects, but it's crucial that you pick the right 3 subjects. Now, in this area, there are lots of options for students who want to go to a sixth form, who want to study A-levels. So why would you decide to come to us? Well, I could give you lots and lots of reasons, but this evening, I want to give you 3 main reasons. And the first reason that I think that students in this area thinking about studying at sixth form should absolutely come to us is our results. And our results are outstanding. So over the last 2 years, 2019, 2020, our A-level results have placed us in the top 10% nationally for A-level progress, which is amazing. So what that says to me is that students who come here with the right mindset, students who come here and are willing to work with us in relation to things like attendance, punctuality, behaviour, commitment, we will work with those students, we will give them a great experience, and those students will achieve the grades that they need at A-level or BTEC to go on to university, apprenticeship or employment. That's the first reason. The second reason that I think you should join us if you live in the area is our facilities and the environment. So hopefully the 2 videos that you've seen so far and the shot that you can see behind me gives you a little bit of a glimpse into that. But this building is only 11 years old. Now in building terms, that's very young. And what that means is we've got a modern, vibrant campus that has everything that a sixth form college student will need under one roof. So there's things like PC access, Wi-Fi available for students, sporting facilities. We've got a number of student areas like the atrium that you can see behind me, the LRC. We have the pod, which is all of our student services come through that you'll hear from later from Julie. We have a cafeteria. It's a lovely place to spend 2 years of your life, and everything that you'll need in order to be successful is under this one roof. And just building a little bit on that in terms of the environment, this is a professional learning environment, and every student who comes here wants to succeed. And what that means is we have a really nice atmosphere and a really nice environment where students work together, build a community, and enjoy their 2 years study with us. The third reason why I think you should decide to come to us is that we will give you lots and lots of opportunities. So I said earlier about sixth form being about more than your 3 subjects. Sixth form is about grasping any opportunity that you're given. So we will give you lots of opportunities through your 3 subjects to go on trips and visits and listen to guest speakers. We will give you lots of opportunities to get involved in enrichment activities, be that social or academic. We'll give you opportunities to study even more qualifications so that you're even more sellable at the end of your 2 years. So you can get involved in things like the extended project qualification, core maths, Duke of Edinburgh, Microsoft Office Specialist Certificate. And that's just a number of them that's throughout your 2 years. Some really illustrious and some really prestigious careers programs like the Career Ready Plus program, like Social Mobility Foundation's Aspiring Professionals program. We work with NCS on an autumn program and a summer program for our students. And in addition to that, we offer things like the Sutton Trust, and lots of our students take part in the Liverpool Scholars program. So there's lots of opportunities in terms of your career and your next steps. Okay. Now, again, jokingly or non-jokingly, I said I could sit here for the next hour and give you reason after reason why I think you should join us. But hopefully you see that through this evening. But what I'd like to do now is introduce you to 3 of my senior curriculum leads. And I think it's worth noting at that stage that at this campus, our curriculum offer is divided into faculties. So we have 3 faculties. We have a faculty of Business, Humanities and Social Sciences. We have a faculty of Creative Arts and Languages. And we have a faculty of Maths, Science and Health. And you can see on your screen now is a graphic which shows you that faculty structure and which also lists the subjects that are offered within that faculty. I'm just going to give you a few seconds to look at that, and then I'll introduce my 3 senior curriculum leads. So if I can introduce you to my 3 senior curriculum leads. Like I said, these are the people who are in charge of those faculties and who are responsible for the quality of teaching, learning and assessment within those faculties, and also the student experience within those faculties. So I'll start with Sally. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Sally Porter. I teach English literature here, and I'm also the senior curriculum lead for business, humanities and social sciences. There's a wide range of subjects within my faculty that includes accounting, business, economics, history, politics, philosophy and ethics, criminology, law, sociology, geography, and a BTEC in IT.
Thanks very much, Sally. Paul.
Hi everyone, my name is Paul Vispatra, and I'm the senior curriculum leader for creative arts and languages. I also teach drama, and we offer a range of A-levels in the faculty. We have an A-level in art, an A-level in drama as just mentioned. We have English language, English literature, English language and literature combined. We also offer film, media, Spanish, and a level 3 BTEC in performing arts. And also this year, we're looking to add an A-level to my faculty and looking to offer an A-level in photography as well.
Fantastic, thanks very much, Paul. Ruth?
Hi there, my name's Ruth Mead and I'm the Senior Curriculum Lead for Maths, Science and Health. A range of subjects that you can take within the faculty, including A-levels in biology, chemistry, physics, further maths, statistics, which was new for this year, computer science, PA and psychology. And we also offer level 3 BTECs in applied science and in health and social care.
Fantastic, thank you very much. And before we say goodbye to my senior curriculum leads for the short term, I really want to emphasise at this point that you will be given the opportunity to watch subject-specific videos this evening. So like I said earlier, ordinarily you'd come in, you'd have a wander around and you'd speak to the to the teachers of the subjects that you're interested in. As we can't do that this evening, what our subject teachers have done is prepared a 5-minute video for each subject, which tells you everything that you need to know about that subject. There's also information on our website, and I would really encourage you to watch those videos and to read that information on the website. Now, to watch those videos, all you have to do as you're watching this, you will have registered, is you will have been sent a link, and that link will take you to a page that you can see on screen now. And on that screen, that A-level virtual open evening portal, if you scroll down, as you can see on the screen, it will take you to all of the subjects that we offer. And if you click on a subject, the video will then open and you can watch that video. So if you're watching this live and you've registered, you will have been sent a link to that. If you're watching this after the event, so it's not live and you may be watching it in a couple of days' time, you can still register retrospectively and you'll be sent that link. And that's just flashed up on the screen now. And that will enable you to click that link and watch those subject-specific videos at your leisure. Okay? So thank you to Senior Curriculum Leads. We'll see you shortly for the live Q&A. Thank you very much for your time. What I want to do now, I have the pleasure of introducing you to 3 of our students, 3 amazing young people, and you're going to hear a little bit about them and the subjects that they're studying. And then we've got some questions that we've been asked to ask in advance. So there they are on screen. Evening all. Without further ado, I'll ask you to introduce yourself first. So if we could start with you, please, Liam.
Hi, I'm Liam Brown. I'm studying economics, English literature, language, and biology.
Thank you very much, Liam. And Anton?
Hi, my name's Anton, and I'm currently in year 13. I'm studying A-level drama and theatre studies, an A-level in business studies, and BTEC in performing arts.
Thank you very much. And Teresa?
Hello, my name is Teresa, and I'm studying A-levels biology, chemistry, and maths.
Thank you very much. So we've got questions for you 3 that applicants, people who are watching, have asked us to ask you, and we'll run on to that shortly. But I think it would be really useful if before we do that, you could just tell everybody watching what your plans are after you've finished here. So you're obviously now in year 13. You're coming up towards the end of your 2 years with us. What's your plans for after year 13? Anton, we'll start with you.
So after year 13, I'd like to go to university, hopefully studying performing arts, and then after that, fingers crossed, maybe land a career in acting and that type of industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Anton. Liam, what about you? What are your plans for after year 13?
Me, hopefully after year 13, I'm thinking of just taking a year out as a development year and then probably just go to a degree in economics and then hopefully get a career in finance.
Thank you. And Teresa, your progression plan?
Well, I'm planning to go to university after year 13 to study medicine and hopefully specialize in surgery.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Right. Okay. So we've got some questions for you three. What I'll do is I'll tell you the question, and then we'll get a response from each of you. So the first question is: we've got an applicant out there who wants to know what's the best thing about college, in your experience, in your opinion. What is the best thing about the college? So we'll kick off with Anton, if that's all right.
Yeah, no problem. So for me, a major thing of Hubert Southend is the variety of courses that you can choose. So, for example, I'm studying drama and performing arts, which is what I love and my hobby. But then, as a safety net and an academic backup, I'm also studying business studies. And there's nowhere else that I could find in the area that offered that variety of courses to study. So yeah, the variety of courses and the freedom to really choose what you want and what you enjoy is a major benefit.
Thank you very much. Same question to you, Liam. What do you think is the best thing about college?
For me, the best thing about college is once you walk through that door, you can just be yourself. You come in, you can be who you like. I just really like the vibe of the college. And I know that everyone in the college actually wants you to do the best for yourself. So it's just a good place to be.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Liam. Same question to you, Teresa. What do you think is the best thing about college?
Well, in my own opinion, I would say that the best thing of college is that there is a good sense of community. It's a friendly environment. I also like as well the matureness of the students. Everyone is putting their effort. Everyone is working hard to make sure to stay on top of their work. As well, we are being respected as well by staff. We are being heard. We are being validated and accepted as we are. And lastly, I would say that the staff, the amount of support that we get from the staff is amazing, in my own opinion. We are supported in every step of the way in order for us to achieve our goals, either to go to university, go into apprenticeship, or just like wherever you decide to do.
Excellent. That's really good to hear. Thank you very much. What advice, you three are coming towards the end of your time with us, what advice would you give to the young people out there watching this now who are clearly thinking about joining a sixth form college after year 11? What would your advice be to those students? Liam, we'll start with you.
For me, you must have heard it 1,000 times, but just start early, put the work in, just do a bit of revision, a little by little every day. You'll get the results you want if you just do that. But also, you've got to remember that school's a massive part of your life, but you just got to remember how to be you, do other things, and just enjoy school and life, I guess.
Sound advice. Yeah, thank you very much. Teresa, what would your advice be?
Well, my advice would be that, first of all, if you know that that's the best route for you to take in order to land your dream job, in order to land your dream career or go to your dream uni, then just go for it. And additionally, I would like to say that you should choose this subject that you love, because A-levels are hard, they're tough, and it's 2 years. So imagine studying something that you don't like for 2 years. Like, you will feel miserable, and stressed. So yeah, so you have to make sure to choose something that you will enjoy studying.
Great advice again. Thank you very much, Teresa. One more advice, please.
So first of all, during this process now, I'd really recommend not overcomplicating it, not overstressing, not overthinking of it. Really, just knuckle down on getting the best grades possible you can in your GCSEs at the moment, and then just think what will be the best plan for you that will help you study what you enjoy, because that is a massive thing. As Teresa said, you don't want to be spending 2 years studying something that you don't love and you don't enjoy. So yeah, definitely, and don't do anything that you're doing just because other people want you to do it. Make sure that you really want to do it, and that's probably the best piece of advice I could give you, really.
Advice again. We've got very wise students. The final thing I'll ask of you is, you know, why should people out there watching this? They've got a lot of choice in terms of sixth form colleges, A-level providers. Why should they choose to come to the South Southend campus of Hubert College? What would be your answer there? Teresa, we'll start with you this time.
So I believe that you should choose Southend campus because, first of all, you're accepted and considered as an adult. Your voice is being heard. You're being validated and accepted as you are. As well, you get prepared for employment. We have a lot of study programs that set you out for the world of work. As well, there are fantastic facilities. You get a lot of support, either financially, well-being from your teachers, etc. And finally, I would say that it's a great stepping stone to university. The college provides you with a lot of skills and knowledge that you will need in order for you to excel in university. So that's why you should choose our college.
Thank you very much, Teresa. Liam, why do you think students out there watching this evening, or maybe at a later date, could decide to join us?
I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Obviously, I'm not from Liverpool. I actually moved all the way from Kent just to come to this college. And I just think as soon as I stepped in that door, saw someone smile, you always met with a smile, I knew that this was the college for me and I had to get here. And obviously, everyone's always looking out for you, as I said before. And it's just the environment you're in, it's just you got to get here. That's my advice.
Fantastic, thank you. And I must stress that Liam doesn't commute. Anton.
So a massive thing for me at this college, and again, it sounds simple, but it is really the staff. The quality and the help you get from the staff is just second to none, really, because it's inevitable that throughout your journey of A-levels, you are going to come through bumps and hurdles, and it's going to be tough at times, and it is really, really pivotal of what people you have around you during that time. So the impact of having helpful, supportive, good staff who have a good balance of giving you the freedom and also holding your hand. So there's a good balance there. You know, it's right down the middle. You're not being walked through it like a little child, but then you're not left on your own to hang out to dry. So the balance and the quality the staff have is really one of the biggest reasons that you'd want to go somewhere. So here we do definitely have that. So that's one of the best things for me.
Good to hear. Thank you very much. And can I just once again thank all three of you. I know we're seeing you later on for the panel Q&A, but some real insight there that hopefully students watching at home have gained a lot from. So thank you very much. We'll see you very shortly. But it's at that point, I must say, you've probably heard enough from me now. You're probably bored of the sound of my voice. So I'm going to hand over to my colleague, Julie Bass. Julie is one of our student services advisors, and she's going to talk you through how we support students and the range of student services that we have should you decide to join us. So over to you. Thank you, Julie.
Sorry, I was on mute. Thanks, Joe. And as Joe said, my name's Julie Bass, and I am one of the student service advisors here at Southend campus. So I am based in the pod here, and the pod is our one-stop shop for all of the support services that you will need during your time here at college. And we have a whole host of staff in there providing all kinds of support that you might need. So we have a counsellor available should you need some counselling support, and that might be for bereavement or depression, anxiety, anything that's impacting negatively upon your life and you feel that you need that link, that support around you, then we are able to refer you on to our college counsellor. We also have additional learning support, and that might be similar to a teaching assistant at your high school. So if you have dyslexia or dyspraxia or ASD and you need a little bit of educational and academic support, then we have that in place, and we can provide that. Similarly, if you are entitled to support around exams, so some people might get 25% extra time in their exams, or a reader or a scribe, then we can also assess for that and support with that. We also provide medical support for those students who might have diabetes or epilepsy. We have that support available to make sure that you can carry on with your studies and get some really good A-level results. On top of all of that, we have our health and well-being, and we would look at mental health support. We would look at supporting with physical health. We would look at financial health as well, and that leads into our bursary offer. So for students who are living within a low-income family, there might be some help towards your school meals, college meals, or your travel to make sure that you can get here, and that doesn't become a barrier then for you to complete your A-level programme. We've also got a student service advisor who is dedicated to supporting students with careers, so careers advice, help with writing a good CV, good strong CV, if you're looking at some part-time work or searching for an apprenticeship after college. Also, they will help with your Ucas application, so if you decide that you want to go off to university. And then there's me, and I am the student service advisor who is responsible for pastoral support. So that will be similar to a learning mentor or a progress coach in your high school, and I will look after you with your social and emotional well-being, mental health, any stress, anxiety, just if you've had a row with a parent before you come to college, or you've had a fallout in your friendship groups, I can kind of help and support with that. We'll also look and help and support around your attendance and your punctuality to make sure that there's nothing stopping you from coming to college. We'll look at travel, what way we can help you in finding how to get here. And that's basically the support that we offer here at Southend. So I would now like to hand back to Joe, and we'll look at the Q&A then.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Julie. That was really insightful. And just to echo a few things Julie said there, it's difficult being 16, 17, 18 nowadays, especially in the current climate. And sixth form study does have its challenges. It can be quite tough, but I think there's a real confidence there that will support you through every step of the way. We'll get to know you really well, and any support that you need, we will make sure that is in place for you. And Julie is someone I'm sure you'll get to know very well. So thank you very much, Julie. What we're going to do now is move on to the Q&A part of the virtual open evening. So I'd like to bring everybody back on screen. So that will be myself, my 3 senior curriculum leads you met earlier, Julie, who's still with us, and then of course our amazing 3 Year 13 A-level students. Okay, so this is your opportunity now to ask us any questions that you want to ask and find out anything that you want the answers to. So it's very, very simple how this works. You should have a text box in front of you where you can write your questions and you can submit those. So once those questions start coming in, I'll read out the question and I'll read out who that question has come from. And then I will either answer it myself or I will direct it to somebody on screen to answer. And what you might find is that somebody else wants to contribute something and chip in. So we'll deal with that. All right. So please get your questions in. Anything you want the answer to, now's your opportunity and now's your time to ask. So coming in thick and fast, we'll start with Molly. Molly, thank you very much for your question. Molly asks, is history, law, philosophy and ethics a good combination? Now, all of those subjects fall under your faculty, Sally, so I'm going to direct that one to you, please.
Yeah, that's a really good combination of subjects. I think the skills that are required for each of them are similar. So there's essay writing involved and looking at documents and sources and so on. And I think they also open up to a range of university courses, if that's the route that you want to go down, and career paths as well. So yeah, I can recommend that combination.
Thanks very much. And Anton, I know you want to comment at that point.
The reason I wanted to add to this is I found myself asking that exact same question when I was in your position. And although they actually do go really well together, as Sally's mentioned, really every subject that you'll study, they have transferable skills, which is enough reason to pick them. However, if you enjoy it, then pick it anyway. If you enjoy those 3 subjects, but you can't make a direct link to all of them, then still pick them, because you're going to spend those 2 years doing something that you really enjoy. And then if you think about it, at the end of those 2 years, you've got 3 good options of what you want to do next after that. So they all link in some way.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And the next question, hopefully you should be able to see on screen now. So the question is from Amy Thomas. Amy, thank you very much for taking the time to ask this question. And Amy asks, what course would I need to apply for to become a midwife? Brilliant question. And yeah, it's great already, Amy, that you've got a career and a vision in mind. So that's really useful. And I think it's important to build your subjects around that vision. So I'm going to pass this on to Ruth, who's the Senior Curriculum Lead for Maths, Science and Health. I think she's best placed to answer this one.
Hi Amy, really good question there. We have a lot of students who are interested in sort of healthcare and midwifery who come to the college. I personally would say health and social care would be a brilliant option for you to take, because you're learned sort of about the NHS, the healthcare system and how that works, and that will really help set you up to do midwifery. Alongside doing health and social care, I'd probably recommend, although not essential, doing something like applied science, which will give you a little bit, or biology, a little bit of a scientific background as well, which would certainly help you with your studies.
Thanks, Ruth. And Teresa, you're hoping to progress onto medicine. It might be useful just to remind everyone, what 3 subjects are you doing? Oh, I don't think Teresa's quite heard me on that one. We'll move on. No worries, Teresa. We've got another question in from Lily. Thank you very much, Lily, for asking the question. Your question is, what's the best 3 A-levels to pick to be a lawyer? Now, I have to say I've got some experience there, Lily, because I used to be a solicitor. So hopefully I can give you some sound advice. So I'll deal with that one. But I'm happy for anybody else to chip in should they want to. I think for me, the important thing is getting 3 strong A-level results so that you can progress onto university to study law. But I think it is worth mentioning that you don't have to study law, believe it or not, if you want to go on and qualify to be a solicitor or a barrister. Most people do law, but some do a non-law related degree. But in essence, you will need A's and B's if you want to go on and study law at probably a Russell Group university if you want to be a solicitor or a barrister. So really, I'll build on what Anton said about picking subjects that you enjoy, that you think you've got a realistic chance of achieving A's and B's in. Now, I would also ask that question of any universities, because they might say they want certain subjects. And really, if you think about the skills of being a solicitor or a barrister, communication skills, evaluation skills, problem solving skills, you know, presenting a clear, structured, lucid argument. You can get that from a number of subjects. If it's any help whatsoever, I studied English language. I was encouraged to study that. I also studied history because I was encouraged to study that with wanting to progress on to do law, and I also did maths. But really, it's about getting 3 very strong results so that you can go on to university to study law and then hopefully progress on to be a solicitor or a barrister, whichever route you decide to take. Has anybody got anything they want to add? Paul, over to you.
Yeah, not just because I teach it, but I think drama is a great subject as well to help be a lawyer, because of all the skills that Joe mentioned, you're going to get them in that subject. You're going to get, and at the moment as well, a lot of Redbrick universities have actually recommended that you can study drama, or they like you to study drama if you would like to go on to study law. So that's definitely worth looking into.
Yeah, it's a really, really valid point. Thank you, Paul. And before we move on to the next question, one thing I think we've missed the obvious in the sense that when you go to university, you pay. Sixth form is free. And I'm always of the mindset that if you're thinking about law as a career, do it at A level, because then over the 2 years you can decide whether you like it or not. And, you know, it wouldn't be uncommon for a student to say, I want to do law, study law at sixth form, and then maybe to take the decision, actually, that's not where I see my career. You know, sixth form is a learning curve and it's a learning experience. So do have a look at the law course and what that entails. Fantastic. We've got lots of questions coming in. That's brilliant to see. So thank you very much to everybody who's contributed. We'll go to Joel next. Again, thanks for taking the time to submit a question, Joel. And Joel asks, what happens if I do not get the required grade for an A-level subject? So we spoke earlier about entry requirements. And I think it is really important to look on our website and look at the entry requirements for specific subjects. And I'm happy for senior curriculum leads to come in to talk about any additional entry requirements within their faculties. But we do have those entry requirements for a reason. So I think there's two phases to the answer there, really, to the question, really. If you just miss out on our entry requirements, the general entry requirements, that being 5 GCSEs grade 4 or above, we do have something called our Access to A-Levels programme. And that's a 1-year course where you essentially improve your GCSE profile so that the following year you can progress onto an A-level programme. And that's 2 years old. This is the second year that we've run that programme. So in the first year, we had 26 students on that programme. They'd narrowly missed out on the entry requirements for A-levels. They studied with us for a year, improved their GCSE profile. And of those 26, 20 of them were then eligible to go on to A-levels the year after. So a really successful first year. So I suppose that's the plan B if you miss out on the entry requirements generally. But Joel would have to have those entry requirements for particular subjects. And the majority of them are in Ruth's faculty, in maths, science and health. And we do have to have those entry requirements, and we do stick rigidly to them. But we always factor in any mitigating circumstances. So if there was a reason potentially why you think there was underperformance there, or you just missed out, there would be a conversation to be had about that. Ruth, is there anything you want to add there?
Yeah, what I would say is obviously, like you said, Joe, a lot of the subjects with additional entry requirements are within my faculty. And sometimes people do miss out by a grade or two, and we will have still come in, we'll have a conversation about that, we'll have a look at the background behind it. But also, we do have a range of courses with different entry requirements that have similar content within them. So normally we can build you a programme that you would be happy with, even if you missed out maybe on a requirement or two.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Ruth. I believe the next question is coming on screen, so hopefully you can see Katie's question. So Katie, again, thank you very much for your question. Really appreciate you taking the time. Katie asks, will there be an option to speak directly with staff about particular subjects after this virtual event, please? That is a brilliant question, Katie. And sorry, I will answer that one again. It's something that we anticipated, because like I said earlier, ordinarily the door's open, you come in and you go and speak to our business teachers or our physics teacher or whatever subject you're interested in. You could go and have a face-to-face conversation with them. And you can't do that tonight because we've got to follow the government guidance. I think the videos will help in some way, shape or form. So that would be the first port of call, to watch those videos and to go onto our website and look at the course content. And that will give you a clearer understanding. But those students who've registered for tonight's event, we're going to be in touch with you and asking you whether you want to speak to any teachers individually. And we will pass your details on to those teachers so that they will make contact with you and set up a conversation. So if that's something that's of interest, we will be in touch about that, Katie, so that you've got that opportunity. And in a minute, when the Q&A is wrapped up, I'm going to be talking about next steps, and there will absolutely, at some point in this academic year, be an opportunity for you to speak to subject teachers face to face. Does anybody want to bring anything in there, or can we move on to the next question? Okay, Sophie's asked the next question, so thank you, Sophie. And she's asked what subjects go well with business studies. So as that falls again within Sally's faculty, I'll come to Sally for that.
Okay, hi Sophie. I suppose in some ways it depends how far you want to take it. If you want to go into business studies at university, it's quite good to have something with it that would support it, such as economics or accounting. But then quite a lot of people will do business studies alongside subjects such as English or history or whatever, just to give them some range so that it keeps their options. As Anton mentioned before, when they get to the end of the 2 years, they've then got something that is very relevant, because business studies is part of kind of fits into so many areas of life. So that's what I'd be asking yourself, really, how far do you want to take it? But certainly quite a few of our students do business with either economics or accounting, because they go together well, or even maths.
Thank you very much, Sally. We've got lots and lots of questions coming in, so we're going to try and get through as many as we can. So cracking on, we've got Olivia. Olivia says, if I don't get a 4 for maths, can I still do the course I want side by side with my A-level courses? So Olivia, I presume you mean GCSE maths there. So if you don't achieve a GCSE grade 4 in GCSE maths, can you still study A-levels alongside that? I think we'll go to Paul. Are you all right to pick that one up for us? Oh, Paul, you're just on mute.
Sorry, as long as you get the qualification, so as long as you've got a 4 in another 4 GCSE subjects, including your English, then it would allow you to be able to study your 3 A-levels alongside the maths
Fantastic.
GCSE.
Yeah, nice and succinct. Thanks very much, Paul. Next question in from Amy, who says, what support is there for travel? What sort of financial support? So, Julie, I think you're the obvious person to go to there.
Again, I was doing a poll there, I was on mute. So for travel, depending on your household income, you'll be able to apply for our bursary. And if you qualify for bursary, you will get a free travel pass and also help towards your lunches.
Thank you. And Liam, I believe you want to come in there.
Yeah, me, I am the king of travel. And honestly, it's such help. And question, if you need help to get to school, I can tell you, you'll make it.
Thank you very much. From the horse's mouth there. Thank you, Liam. We've got another question coming on screen very shortly. Keen to get through as many questions as we can. So we've got Leslie. Leslie, again, thanks for your questions. He's saying, is criminology, history and politics a good mix? So again, lots of questions from Sally here for business, humanities and social sciences, which I know she's delighted about. So I'll hand over to you, Sally.
Hi, Leslie. Yeah, that's a good combination for a number of reasons. I mean, one of the things, history has an element of coursework in it. Criminology has a controlled assessment. So that will actually reduce the exam load for you at the end of the course. And obviously the subjects, some of the subject areas and themes that you'll study overlap. As I mentioned before, it's a skill set as well. So you'll be using a lot of essay writing, using evidence to support your ideas, using resources and critics and theories and so on. So yeah, it goes together very well.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Sally. So like I said, if you've got any questions, please feel free to type them into the box that's on your screen, and we'll do our best to answer them as honestly and as best we can. So moving on, Julie has asked a question, and she says, I think this is a perfect question for our 3 students. So she says, is college different to school? So maybe if we could take a response from each of our year 13 students. Anton, maybe if we start with you, do you feel that college is different from school?
Okay, so in some ways, it is massively different. So, first of all, in college, you've got a lot more freedom. There's a lot more independent learning time. So your timetable is set out so that you have not frees as such, but they are you don't have a lesson, but you have that time to be studying and doing any work that you need to be doing. But then on the other hand, it's still got the social and support qualities of that school does. So you've got a good balance there. That's about everything I've got to say on that.
Thank you, Anton. Liam, we'll come to you.
Yeah, I think obviously you're still 16, 17, so obviously there's got to be some restrictions, but it's just school with a bit more freedom. So you're not really controlled. You can do what you want, and it's just, yeah,
good.
It's pretty nice.
Thank you, Liam. Teresa, have you got anything to add there? No worries. I think maybe some connections problems there, so we'll move on. If we get the opportunity to ask Teresa to come back, we'll ask for Teresa's view on that. But I'll move on to the next question. Oh, sorry. Go on, Teresa. You're with us. Do you think college is different to school? What's your view?
Yeah. Sorry, I think it's the Wi-Fi that is going a bit slow. Well, what I would say is that yes, college is different from high school. You get more, you become more independent and more responsible of your study. As well, you don't have to wear uniforms. You get to wear what you want and express yourself through your clothes, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's you get more freedom, and yeah, you have the intuition of, oh, I want to study now or I want to study later. Like, you have that freedom. So
fantastic. Thank you very much. I'm glad we got over the connection issues as well. Thanks, Teresa. Really good answer. We've got another question coming in from Mandy. I think this is one for you, Paul, if that's okay. So Mandy said, do you know what the entry requirements will be for photography A-level? Paul.
Hi, Mandy. Hope you're okay. Yeah, basically, so it will be the general college requirements, which is 5 4s in GCSE. But if you have studied GCSE photography or GCSE art, then you would expect to get a 4 in those subjects. However, if you've not studied those subjects and you've got an interest in photography, what we can organise is a brief meeting with our art teacher and our photography teacher, and she'll be able to look at the portfolio of work, or just to discuss the course with you and just see you've got an interest in the course, and then hopefully we'll be able to put you on that study programme.
Very clear. Thanks very much, Paul. And the next coming on screen, so we've got a question from Lucy, and Lucy's question is, can you do an A-level from each box? i.e. history and art. So I think Lucy's saying, can I pick an A-level from each faculty? And we'll go to Ruth. Do you mind picking that one up?
Hi, Lucy. The simple answer is yes, you can do. But really, you need to think about sort of your next steps, your vision, and what you want to do. So, for example, if you were looking like Teresa to go and study medicine, we'd probably recommend that actually you take most of the subjects from within my faculty, besides maths and health one. However, it really does depend on what you want to do. You can take whatever you want. So, for example, we've had a student in the past who's done maths and physics from my faculty, but's done performing arts out of the creative arts faculty. And actually, it's those transferable skills throughout subjects that support each other. So think about what your vision is. Think about what you want to go and do with your next steps. Take the subjects that you need for that, but then think about what skills you can get from other courses as well.
Good answer. Thank you very much, Ruth. And the questions are coming in thick and fast, so thank you to everybody. The next one should be on screen now from Julie. Julie's asking, is it possible to change the subject after I have applied? Which I think was dealt with earlier. Ruth, would you just mind reiterating what you said earlier, just in case Julie missed it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, when you start in September, there's a 2-week window of opportunity where it is potentially possible for you to change course. However, this isn't guaranteed because it might be that the course you want to swap onto is full, or that it doesn't fit with your timetable. So actually, what's really important is that between now and enrolment, you spend some time researching the subjects you're interested in and making sure that you choose the right courses. You are going to be signing up the next 2 years of your life to that.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Ruth. We've got another question coming in from Georgia, who says, Georgia is asking, what courses would you suggest to choose to go into a future with sports? A really good question, Georgia, and I think I'll come back to you, Ruth, if that's okay.
That's okay. The good questions coming in. Hi, Georgia. I mean, if you're interested in going into sports, PE would be the obvious option to take, but it depends exactly what it is that you want to go into in sports. Do you want to be a PE teacher? Do you want to go into sort of sports coaching? Either way, PE for that. If you're wanting to maybe go into sports physiotherapy and that kind of thing, I'd suggest maybe taking the likes of applied science or biology alongside it. There is quite a science element within PE.
Yeah, and I just build on that again. You know, we try and put your study program around your vision if you've got that. So if you have a very particular career or pathway in mind, you can even look further ahead to universities and look what subjects they would expect you to pick, because the universities might actually dictate that you have to do a certain subject or a certain couple of subjects. So it's worth doing that when you're doing your research about what subjects to study over 2 years. Moving on, Emily, thank you for your question. Emily asks, can I drive to college? Julie, are you all right to deal with that question for us?
Yeah, that's fine. Yes, you are, and we have parking available. You would just, I think you would have to provide some evidence of your insurance just to make sure that when it was parked in our car park, if anything happened to it, you'd be covered.
Excellent. Yeah, we do have ample parking, so more than enough spaces for students once they pass the driving test. Thanks for your question, Emily. The next question's coming in from Paul, and Paul asks what enrichment options are available. Well, Paul, I think there's two sides to that. There's social enrichment. There's three sides, really. There's social enrichment, there's enrichment within each course, so things like trips and visits. And then there's also our Wednesday afternoon offer where you get the opportunity to do extra things to add value to your CV or Ucas application. So maybe if I come to you, Sally, just for a bit of a flavour about some of the trips and the visits from your area, and then we'll go to somebody else for the Wednesday afternoon offer.
Yeah, certainly. Just to remind you, my area is business, social sciences and humanities, and we have a whole range of trips. There's a trip to Euro Disney for business students so that they can look at the business side of a theme park. We have trips to, there's a faith day where we go on a trip to a mosque, a spiritualist church and a Buddhist centre. We have guest speakers come in, and at the moment we're doing quite a bit of that virtually, obviously because of the COVID restrictions. We have visits to local universities for specific days on aspects of the course. For example, it's a civil rights day for history students at Edge Hill. We have law trips to London, and there is also a trip for law and drama to New York. Again, sadly, this year we've had to postpone it, but that usually goes ahead every year. Again, so there's a wide range of stuff close to home, but much further afield.
Thanks. Paul or Ruth, do you want to come in there and maybe mention anything from your faculties? Paul?
Yeah, so obviously, as Sally mentioned, there's the New York trip. But also as well, my faculty in the creative arts and languages have a lot of trips to local art galleries, theatres. We go further afield as well, so we also have trips to London. Also as well, we have a number of guest speakers coming in. Obviously, with COVID at the moment, that is quite challenging. So we've done remote guest speakers, and in drama recently, we've had theatre companies giving remote workshops to our students. So we've tried, even in this situation now, we still try to make the most of what's out there to make sure that you're getting a full experience and to make sure that your experience is, you know, as fun and exciting and enjoyable as it can be, really.
Thanks, Paul. Ruth, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, similar to what Sally Paul said, every subject within the faculty has a range of visits and guest speakers. It might be worth mentioning for medicine as well, we have quite a unique package of enrichment we do for those students thinking of applying down the healthcare or medicine route, where we have a range of talks with ex-students who study medicine. We've had practicing medics, cardiac consultants coming in and doing a talk with our students, taster days to local universities for a medicine taster day. Yeah, absolutely loads of opportunities for trips, visits and competitions.
Yeah. And our 3 year 13 students, what sort of enrichment activities, be that on a Wednesday afternoon or social enrichment, have you been involved in that you'd like to share? Liam, what's your view?
Me, I really enjoy it. On a Wednesday afternoon, I take part in doing MOS, so you learn stuff in Microsoft Word, email, Excel, which I think can really benefit you in the future.
Thank you. Is there anything that you've been involved in that you'd like to mention? Okay, I think we might just have a connection problem there. So we'll move on to Anton, see if we can come back to Teresa very shortly. Anton?
Hi, yeah. So for my enrichment, I went to Rowan Park Infant School, which is a special needs school just across away from ourselves. And for me, that was a really nice experience because it's very different, and also it takes you out of the classroom for a little bit and gives you some really good practical face-to-face experience. So especially if you're doing types of health and social care and that type of line of work, that's a really, really good opportunity. And I really enjoyed it as well. So
good to hear. Thanks, Anton. Teresa, are you back with us? No, I think we'll have to move on there. Sorry, Teresa. We've got another question coming in from Eva, who has asked, what A-levels would you recommend to be a history teacher in higher education? Well, you know, fortunately, we've got 3 qualified teachers in front of us in Sally, Ruth and Paul. So I'm happy for anybody to answer this question. So what would your advice be to a wannabe history teacher?
Shall I go?
Yeah, Sally.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you'd need to do history A-level, but then if you were going on to university to do the degree in history first, you need 2 other subjects that you're going to do well in. But there is no specific area you have to. I would recommend considering English or politics because they complement history quite well, and you will have the similar sort of skill set developed there. But definitely history.
Thank you very much, Sally. Cheers. The next question that we've got coming in, they are coming in thick and fast, which is great to see. So we've got a question from Amy. Amy, good evening. Thanks very much for your question. So what are the start and end times for the day, please? Paul, are you all right to pick this one up?
Yeah, of course. So, hi Amy, thanks for the question. So our lesson starts at 8:45. We do expect college to be on campus from 8:30, so they're ready to get into the lesson on time. And then at the moment, lessons finish at 3:50.
Yeah, thank you very much. And it's worth adding, I think our students have alluded to this throughout the evening, but when you're not in a session, Amy, you can go home. You know, you can work here, you can work in our library, you can work in one of the student areas, you can relax and spend some time with your friends. So you are welcome on site throughout the day. But when you're not in a session, then you can be working remotely, you can be doing part-time work, you can be doing one of your hobbies, spending time with friends and family. As long as you manage that time, that's entirely up to you how you do that. Thanks for your question, Amy. We've got another question coming in from Ruth, who asks, when should I apply for bursary or help with travel? So I think that's a question for you, please, Julie.
Yeah, no worries. So Ruth, our bursary application is an online one, and I don't see that you would have any problem in applying for that even now. Obviously, that would be allocated to you until you actually were given a place here and had your start date with us. But yeah, you can certainly get that, have a look at the application online, and then in the summer, before you come to us, then you would send that application in, because you will need some evidence for that. So what your household income, so it might be that your parents are on universal credit, or wage slips would have to be provided, but it's all done online, and we have contact details there. So if you had any problems applying for it, or were worried about it, or any questions around that at all, please just don't hesitate to contact us.
Thanks, Julie. We've got time to take 2 more questions. So we've had a question come in from Olivia, who asks, will I be supported with my university application? And I think that's a brilliant, brilliant question, because like I said earlier, about 80% of our students will progress to university onto higher education. So I think it's going to be really interesting to get the students' perspective. I know, Liam, you're deferring for a year or looking to go a year later, but particularly from Anton and Teresa, it would be really interesting to get your experience. But maybe, Sally, if you could provide an overview of how we support students, that would be helpful.
Yeah, certainly. Although you don't actually apply until year 13, we start helping you right from when you're in year 12. And there's lots of help and support, firstly with picking your actual courses, learning about student finance, learning the benefits of going to university. You'll have help with the application process itself, including how to register with Ucas, how to write your personal statement, which is a very important part of it. And we'll also do targeted support for students who are working in specific areas. So if you want to go into medicine or dentistry, or if you want to go to Oxford or Cambridge, you'll be identified in year 12, and an extra support package is put in for you, including support with preparation for interviews, because you'll normally have an interview for those courses. And really sort of preparing so that by the time you fill in your application, you know, you're ready to go and you know what you're going for.
Fantastic, thanks, Sally. And Anton, what's your experience been of the UCAS application process?
Yeah, so with the UCAS application, you are offered a lot of help. And what was really helpful for me this year is, although a lot of stuff was done online, we were still sent PowerPoints weekly, sometimes daily, I think it was as well, on exact steps you need to complete by when, to make sure you're on track of doing the right thing for your UCAS application. And it's really, it seems dead scary and really overwhelming, but the way it's broke down to you and the way it's given to you in steps, it is really, really simple. And I'll also digress as well. The way the college is adapted during these times just shows how good the staff are on making sure your needs are always at the forefront of importance, no matter what is thrown at you. So I think if now I am really digressing here, but I think the fact that we're still here on this open evening, and despite technology and everything, then it just is a little reminder to yourselves that no matter what hurdles are thrown at you during your A-levels, then the brilliant staff here will really pull you through it, no matter what.
Thank you very much. Really good to hear, Anton. And Teresa, we've got a few Wi-Fi issues, but is there anything you want to add about the UCAS application process? I think we're struggling there. Apologies. I know Teresa would have a lot to say about the UCAS application process, but I think we're just struggling with the signal there. So we'll move on to the final question. Oh, have we got you there, Teresa? Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Yes.
Okay. All right. Took a long time. Okay. So for the UCAS process, especially for me, at first it was really scary for me, because first of all, I have a deadline it was earlier than the general deadline. So to write a good personal statement and to put the necessary things in each section. It was really scary for me at the beginning. But again, as Anton said, every week we will get like email in how to fill fill up the form, as well like tips for writing a good personal statement as well. So that really helped a lot in order for me to like put everything together and send it off like before the deadline. So yeah, you get guided and you get support from the staff that you're involved with.
Yeah, I'm glad we managed to hear from you there. That was really useful. We've got time for one last question, I'm afraid, folks. And the final question is from Lily. So again, thank you for your question, Lily. And Lily says, what is the latest date to choose what subject to study? I think if it's all right with everybody, I'll pick up on that question because I'm going to talk about next steps in a minute, so it will lead us nicely in. But essentially, Lily, our application window is open now. And when you do apply, you will be asked to pick 3 subjects. So it really is important that before submitting that application, you take the time to watch the videos that we've prepared for you, look at the course content on our website, speak to friends and family and maybe people who've done A-levels before or been to a sixth form college before, and really think about what you're willing to commit the next 2 years of your life to. Once you've made that decision, submit your application. But I want to stress it's really common for students to change their mind from the moment they submit that application right the way through the student application process. As long as you communicate that to us at things like interview evenings, at taster days, then that's fine. But what's really important is when you come to enrol with us next August, that you know exactly which 3 subjects you want to do. So there is still time to think. We will ask you to pick 3 subjects when you apply, but there is an opportunity to change your mind. But that thinking process, that thought process, that decision-making process really does start tonight if it's not started already. And I think one more point from me just on that, Lily, is that we're asking this year, we're doing it slightly differently, that all applications are in by the 31st of January. Okay, and that way, that gives us the opportunity to make sure that you can all have a really comprehensive, really robust interview, and we can get everybody into taster sessions, hopefully face-to-face, but if not virtually, so that you can experience what those subjects are like. All right, so hopefully that answers your question, Lily. I know Liam's keen to build on that and add something, so I'll hand over to Liam.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about South Sefton is flexible. At last minute, I said, right, I'm coming to Liverpool. And the way they facilitated me to get to college is just honestly amazing. Because I had no school. On the 23rd, it was a results day. I'm there. I'm like, I need to find a school. And South Sefton did everything they could to help me get to school. So
yeah, it's
just
really useful.
keep it in mind.
And just before we wrap things up, I'm just going to backtrack to the previous question about Ucas. I know Sally was having some connections issues, just wants to add something about that point. So over to you, Sally.
Yes, what I forgot to mention before, and I think this is unique to our college, I've not heard of any other college that does this. If you get your Ucas application in by the 15th of December, we pay for every single application. And as I said, I've not heard of any college that does that. So that's, I think, typical really of the student support that we give throughout the process.
Yeah, it's a real bonus, a real plus for students, isn't it? So yeah, thank you for raising that. Unfortunately, we've run out of time for any more questions, but I'd just like to firstly thank those of you out there who have asked the question. There's been some fantastic questions and they've really got us thinking, so thank you very much for doing that. I'd also like to thank everybody on screen for your involvement tonight, and not just in the Q&A, but for the last hour and 20 minutes. So thank you very much. It falls on me just to wrap things up and talk through next steps. So I hope you out there watching it and people who are watching this at a later date really have taken something from this. I think we need to be honest and say there's no substitute for opening up the doors and let you in, but this is probably the next best thing. So I really hope you found it useful and that you've taken something from tonight. Please do watch those subject videos. That's really important. And I would encourage you to do that tonight while you're in that frame of mind. Please do visit our website to find out more. Please do visit our social media outlets. But if there's any questions that you have that haven't been answered this evening or that you didn't get the opportunity to ask, contact our admissions team and they will deal with any questions, queries, worries or concerns that you have, and we'll pick those up via email. In terms of next steps, what I would ask from you all is to go away and do some thinking. Thinking, is sixth form the right option for you? If sixth form is the right option, are we the right option for you? And if we are, what subjects do you want to study? And if you think we are the right place for you, and we've given you numerous reasons tonight why you might be, then you can apply now. So you can apply online and you can apply through our website. It's very, very easy to do. The link is on the screen now, and it should only take you a few minutes to apply. If you would prefer a paper application, contact our admissions team and we can arrange for a paper application form to be sent out, or you can ask through your school and we will send them out to your school. What I want to stress is when you apply, you are guaranteed an interview, and that's an employability skill in itself. So once you have applied, you will be invited to an interview day. Now, throughout December, January, February, they will be conducted via the telephone. So there'll be telephone interviews. We're hopeful from March onwards that we can move to face-to-face interviews, but we'll have to see how the national picture with COVID-19 unfolds. So it's a case of applying, a guaranteed interview, and that interviewer are very likely to offer you a conditional offer. And that's an offer for September 2021, providing you meet our entry requirements. All being well in the spring, you will be invited to something called our Discover Day. That's when you get the chance to come in and discover more about the subjects that you're interested in. So we'll be in touch with you about that. And then after the Discover Day, we leave you to revise and concentrate on your GCSEs. And then once your GCSEs are out of the way, we will invite you into college for something called a New Starter Day, when you spend the full day with us and you get a feel for what a typical normal day in college is like. And then after everybody's had a summer break, we will invite you in to enroll with us. And that's when it's absolutely crucial that you know which 3 subjects you want to study and why. So essentially, the ball starts rolling tonight. So we have the open evening, you apply, we then have interview evenings, Discover Day, New Starter Day, and enrolment. So that next phase, that next stage of your life, the process of that beginning starts this evening. So it's very, very exciting and maybe a little bit daunting as well. But we're here to support you through every step of the application process. And if you do need to contact us, please feel free to contact us. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. Really do appreciate your time. I'd like to wish you all the very best of luck for year 11 and what's going to be challenging circumstances. But I hope it all works out. But probably more importantly, I hope that you all stay safe over the next few weeks and months and that you manage to have a lovely Christmas break. And if you need anything from us, please do let us know. So thank you very much for your time and hopefully we'll see you soon.